What's up, everyone? I am Jamie with Three Little Goats Homestead, and today we are heading into the kitchen to do something I have been putting off for a very long time. Today I have to can majority of the tomatoes that were in my freezer. I don't think I'm going to get to them all today. Heck, I'll be happy if I get through half of them today. Now, since summer is really busy with farmers markets and processing a lot of our vegetables that come out of the garden, tomatoes kind of always just take a back end because I can just core them and throw them in the freezer and deal with them later. And usually I will deal with them in the winter time when it's nice and cool and I can get to canning inside the house without heating up everything. Well, sometimes life gets in the way, and I did not get to can any of my tomatoes from last year. And with tomatoes already coming on my plants this year, I figured it's probably time I should get my butt in gear and get these tomatoes canned. So I'm not doing anything fancy. I am literally just cooking them down into a plain Jane sauce. That way, when I do need them, I can zhuzh them up for what I need them for. This is kind of what I'm working with right now. I literally would just throw them, I would core them, cut off any bad spots, and throw them in Ziploc bags, and then throw them in the freezer. And then that way, when they start to defrost, I can just peel the skins off. So I've got them in some water to try to speed up the defrosting process. So once they're a little bit softer, I'll bring you guys back. All right, so this is what we're working with right now. They've started to defrost, and as you can see, the skin just peels right off of them. So I'm not going to toss these skins. I'm actually going to save them, and they're going to go in the freeze dryer at a later time. Just right now, freeze dryer is full, but eventually they will go in. So let's get these guys in. So that is all the peels that I'll be putting in the freeze dryer later on this week. I'll just put them in a Ziploc bag for now in the fridge. And here is all of the tomatoes we are working with for right now. Like I said, I still have probably 2 times this in the freezer, but slow and steady wins the race. So I'm going to get this on the stove so we can start reducing it down. Now while this is reducing down, I'm going to go ahead and clean and sterilize all my jars so I can get those ready. And I'm going to fill up my water bath canner so that can start heating up as well. Alright, so I've got everything in here. Off camera I actually went and grabbed a couple more bags because this is going to reduce down by quite a bit. I still have a couple tomatoes that are still somewhat frozen. So I'm going to let them cook down a little bit more, and then I'll take the immersion blender into everything. Like these bigger tomatoes are still a little bit hard. So to save my immersion blender a little bit of work, I'm just going to let them cook a little bit more. And when we're ready to do that, I'll bring you guys back. I also have my water bath canner ready to go. And my jars are in the oven set to about 200 degrees. So they are nice and clean and warm when I'm ready to use them. Alright, now that everything's kind of softened up, just going to take my stick blender and I'm going to start blending this up a bit. cook this and let it reduce by quite a bit, and then if I need to, once it's reduced a little bit more, I will stick blend it some more. But right now it's looking all right, y'all. So we've been simmering for a little bit now, and we're just getting thicker. We started at about right there, and I think I want to go a little bit further down. I'm going to let it reduce probably for another 20-30 minutes because I want it to be a nice thick sauce that I can add stuff to. So let's keep it going. All right, y'all. So I think we're going to call this about done. We started up here. Last time I checked it, we were right about there. So we've reduced about halfway from that as well. And I could go even thicker if I wanted to. I like to try to get as much of the liquid out. And I know there's better ways to do it than just reducing it. There are different machines that will do it for me. But you know what? I don't have those machines. I don't have the space for those machines. So I squeeze out as much liquid as I can. And I put it in a pot and I cook it up. It's the easiest way for me and most cost effective. It just means a little bit more time on my part reducing it all down. But in my defense, I did have to pull it off the heat a few times for milk pickups, which meant having to wait for it to start boiling again. But I think I'm going to call this done. We're going to get this in the canner because it's getting late. And it's not, doesn't have a whole lot of water left in it. We've reduced it pretty good. So I'm going to get the jars ready and we'll get to canning it up. Alrighty, so we're gonna can these up. I'm using pint jars because pint jars is what works for my family. If you have a larger family, use a larger jar. If you have a smaller family, use a half pint. It's completely up to you. But I find that a pint is just enough for the 3 of us right now. And if I need extra, then I'll just open another jar. No biggie. But I'm going to fill this, guys, up to about a 1/2 inch of headspace. And I'm going to water bath can them for 35 minutes. And that's with my elevation. With your elevation, it may be a little bit different. So make sure you check and do your research on how long you should pressure can, or no, water bath can yours. But I'm going to do these. I'm probably going to have to do a couple rounds because I was like, I don't need my big canner. This will be just a few small batches. I'm gonna have to do a few batches. It's inevitable. So I'm gonna get these filled and I'll bring you back when we're ready to throw these in the canner. Well, don't throw them, they're glass. When we're ready to put them in the canner. You know what I mean. All right, so all of these jars are filled. I'm gonna wipe them off with a paper towel that's been dipped in water and vinegar. But before that, I'm going to put this back on the heat so it can continue to just reduce because there's still a ton in here and might as well let it cook off while I'm doing batches, right? All right. Grab my lids and my jars. All right, we're going to get these cleaned up. We're going to get these in the water bath. Now, my water bath canner does have a little bit of vinegar in it because we have well water and with well water means hard water. So to keep my glasses nice and clean and clear and not getting cloudy, I put a little bit of vinegar in it. So, and then we're cleaning off the rims to make sure there's nothing stuck to it that will prevent us from getting a nice good seal. Because if I am going to water bath can something for 35 minutes, I expect it to seal. So we're going to give those a nice good cleaning. Dip our finger in it while we're at it, because why not? Alright, now the fun part. Nope. We're just going to put these on finger tight. You don't want them super tight. Hot. Beware that the jars will be hot. Whew. Alright. Okay. Oof. All right. So I turned the water down so it wouldn't just all evaporate. So turn that back up. Get these bad boys going. I want the water to come above all of my jars, at least an inch, So if it doesn't come up over after they're all in, which I'll be good, I would add more water. But right now, they're looking good. Come on, there we go. One last one. Squeeze her in there. All right, I'm gonna actually get some of this water out so it doesn't boil over, because I've already made a giant mess in my kitchen. But once this comes to a full boil again, we will go ahead and start our timer, and I'll bring you guys back once they come out of. All right. Took a little finagling, but they are done. If I can get the rest out of the canner. Don't drop the jar. All right, so the first batch is done. Now I'm gonna move these out of the way so I can do the second batch. All right, y'all, so I got 7 pints on the counter, I got 7 pints in the processor, and I've got probably another 2 pints in here, but we're gonna use this for dinner tomorrow because we've got some Italian sausage from Lenny and Swiggy in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna do this with some sausage, and I'm probably gonna make some goat cheese tonight as well to go with it. So I'll bring you guys back when this last bit is done processing. All right, y'all, so we ended up with 14 pints canned, probably another 2 pints in the refrigerator for dinner tomorrow. They have all sealed except for this one, which I literally just pulled it out of the water bath, so it'll take a few minutes. So I'm gonna let these guys hang out on the counter for 24 hours, and then I'll take the rings off and label them and put them in the pantry. So if you liked this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We put out new videos every single week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.